What's up, everybody? How are y'all doing out there? This your girl just saying, and we are definitely excited about what is going to happen in a few minutes. Um, this is just a random live interview, and I'm so excited to have my youngest brother. I don't know if I should say little brother, or whatnot, but he's my little big brother. I'll say that. But his name is Xavier Padgett, and he goes by Strado. So he just released a new album, y'all, and yep, we are so excited about what God is doing through him. And so he is one of my guests. So yep, we're gonna interview him. You guys have questions, we want you guys to put them in the comment section. If you're on for YouTube, remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is at JustSan5784. All right. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Lynn. We are so glad to have you. So I'm going to get ready to bring my guest on because I'm so excited about this one. Again, like I told you, this is my youngest brother, Xavier Padgett. He has dropped a new album entitled I Don't Even Care Anymore. All right. So, yeah, we're going to bring him to the stage right now. What's up? What's up?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm blessed and highly favored. That's all I can say. I'm
Listen,
happy. Everything's good.
absolutely, absolutely. How is New York?
New York is New York. It's been good to me. It's a crazy city, but
Yeah.
everything's good. The weather's getting a little warmer, so seeing that it's kind of warming up a little bit, that makes me a lot happier.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited for this opportunity. Um, Zay, I'm gonna call you. You want me Zay or you want me to call you Strata?
You
Which
call me
one?
Zay, man. That's my real name. That's what my mama called me. That's a name I made up. You call me Zay.
Okay, because we want to talk about that. All
All
right,
right.
so y'all, this is my brother Xavier Padgett, and like I said, he just dropped his latest album. He's done several, but he has dropped his latest album entitled "I Don't Even Care Anymore." It's on all social media platform. We're gonna let him tell you guys where that is at the end of the show. But yeah, so let's talk about it today. Where did Strado come from?
Man. All right. So I mean, I've been rapping for almost 20 years now, to be honest with you. And it basically came from different names that I had. So my name when I first started off was Matic, right? Just like automatic, right? So I
Mhm.
dropped the auto and then I added a last name to that and it became Matic Estrada. And that's the name I was mostly known for a long time. And
Mhm.
when I started doing shows and publications start writing up stuff on me, they would
Mhm.
always mess my name up.
Okay.
So I kind of started calling myself Strado based off Estrada. And it just
Okay.
kind of stuck with my friends and artists, and they would start calling me that. And then the guy that was managing me at the time was like, "Man, maybe you should just change it to just straight Strato." And
Oh,
that's kind of what it is. And I kind of ran with it from there. Yeah,
okay. Okay. Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I got a couple of questions. Well, we know that you are from our hometown, Johnston, South
Mm-hmm.
Carolina.
J
And
Town
you
all
know
day.
how most people listen all day. And you know how some people, don't like to at least let people know where they're from. But today we are repping Johnston, South Carolina, born and raised there. And that lets you know that great
Already.
things can come from what people consider a no place, right? I
Exactly,
want to say, hey
exactly.
everybody, Uncle Doug is on, so give me a shout out,
What's up, Uncle
Zay.
Doug? What's happening?
Hey, Apostle. Hey, Lynn. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, so Zave, I got a couple of questions. Can you tell us about about the inspiration behind your new album?
Okay. For me, it has two different meanings. I've been going through a lot with life. Um, I'll get started on the music side of things. For anybody that know, I've been doing music for a long time. I kind of got close to signing a deal around 2016, and I've been working for years and years and years, and it just kind of fell through. And I let that get to me. It sent me through a deep bout of depression. I moved to New York and tried to start fresh, and I kind of lost my driving passion for music for years. I mean, I would do it here and there, but it just didn't connect or resonate with me no more. I didn't have the passion for it. So throughout that process of me dealing with people in the music industry, a lot of people tried to change me. They tried to change my sound. They said I had to play the game and do this. And it affected me to the point where I just didn't even like my music anymore. And within the last couple of months, I've kind of created this album and I put it out the way I wanted it to. And it's like really to the point where I don't even care anymore about the numbers. I don't care about what people think about it. I did it for myself. I had to do this for myself to get over a hurdle that I just couldn't get over for a long time. And to get into the second part of what I don't even care more anymore means is I've been going through a lot with life, with like my faith, reconnecting with God, and I've gone through some trials and tribulations with my relationship with my past girlfriend, and I've been using not caring as like a defense mechanism to like, you know how somebody be like, oh, so and so happened. You like, man, I don't even care about that. Like, but really deep down, when you let
really
time pass by and you go through it, you do care. So that's me going through the process. And if you listen to the album, it starts off with me getting lost in my vices and everything like that. Trying to be like, I'm partying, I'm making this money, whatever. I don't care about what's going on. But then when I really tap into my heart and what's really going on, it's like, you know what? I do care. And I need to work on this. And I need to better myself and find myself. And as I make that connection and work my way through it, I truly reach a point of not caring because I process it. I understand the emotions and I'm moving forward. That's my past, and I'm gonna be better from there. So that's what it really is.
That's good. I really do like just even it's like a journey that you were on, and then being able to acknowledge, I may have said that I don't care, but I actually do care. But also get to the point to where and I believe that God wants us to be our authentic selves. That's
100%.
why we are here. Never to mimic or to become what others want us to be, but to be our authentic selves and who he created us to be. So I definitely commend you for standing up, even in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that that's a powerful statement because you know what your vision is and you know what you bring to the table. And you wanted that to be a representation, a good representation of who Strado really is and what he represents. So I definitely think that's good. How would you describe the overall sound and theme of this album?
It's hard, man, because I kind of dabbled in every kind of part of like hip hop, like different like genres of it. For me myself personally, I don't like to be boxed in. I'm a very moody, different type person. It's like whatever sound resonate with me that day, that's kind of what I go with. But it's a little bit of soul, like boom bap. It's a little bit of trappy. It's some cool stuff in that. And then there's some rich, but I would say the overall theme is just soul, like tapping into that sound of like soul. It's a lot of samples on that album, so I think soul is the key word for it, to be honest with you. And the theme is, like I say, just being completely transparent and honest with yourself and reconnecting with your source, your God, and having that true conversation with yourself and God, and be like, hey God, hey, what I need to do to move forward, man. Like, tell me what to do, guide my steps, and let's get to it, And I say what I love so much about this process is because like I haven't been inspired at all. And within the last, like since this year started, I've been making it a point to meditate. I've been making it a point to pray. And I asked God maybe like a month ago, I was like, can you please just give me some creative spark? And it happened. And in the last 6 weeks, I finished this album. It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Listen, me and AJ was listening to it last week. I think AJ had started listening to it before I did, but I was listening to it and I was like, man, I can actually feel, what you were saying. You know what I'm saying? And I love the disclaimer that you had already given as far as, lyrics or whatever. But listen, I'm telling you, like, when you can lay all that down and really listen to the passion behind it, it was, I mean, it's really the sound, the music. I'm gonna do like Uncle Doug just did. It was fire. You know what I'm saying? So listen, if you guys have not listened or got it, get it. Vernon Miller said he can't wait. He can't wait.
What's
So
up, Big Miller?
yeah.
What's
Hey
up, bro?
AJ. AJ's on as well.
Man,
But
AJ.
yeah, so what was the biggest challenge? I know you talked about, your faith in God and going through your past relationship. So what was the biggest challenge you faced in creating this album, and how did you overcome?
Really is, man, I've been working like crazy because I'm a grown up. These bills got to get paid. And I manage a bar at a restaurant, so it's very demanding. So really, the hardest part was trying to find time to record. So I mean, I work pretty late. I go into work 3 o'clock, and sometimes I'll get home to like 3 in the morning.
Mhm.
And I would. The hardest part was me sitting down and making the time to actually record. But like I said, kind of when I started praying and asking, it's like things just started moving. Like I would sleep for 3 hours and wake up at 6 in the morning and like I can't sleep, you know.
Wow.
And then like I would just hear something in my head, so I just get up and I just start recording myself. So I sacrificed a lot of sleep trying to get this project done, but it's like something was just in me and I had to get it out. So I guess
Wow.
trying to find the time and like actually, working through being sleepy at work and trying to live a regular life was the hardest part. Yeah.
Listen, I completely understand. Like, especially with like, when you're trying to be creative, that's one thing I do like about God, love about God, is that we are his creative beings.
Mm-hmm.
And, and he's put in each and every person, the ability to do and be great. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a matter of like what you did was like, let me get before God and let me ask him to help me be creative, and yielding yourself and submitting yourself to that. And then next thing you know, it's like the spark came back,
I'm just
and
a
so
vessel. I'm just a vessel. That's
that's
all it is.
it. That's
That's
a
it.
yielded vessel. That's it. That's one thing
Mm-hmm.
I do love about that. And I always loved about you, Zay, because even, just watching you over the years, even with your music videos, like you was doing stuff way before, you know, I could even think about it. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to say you were the pioneer, oh God,
Thank you.
in the
Thank you, man.
family, to start out with doing stuff, because you was like teenager doing
Mm-hmm.
things. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I remember, you having the computer and the mics and stuff at the house,
Yeah.
So I would definitely say that I believe that God, I believe we all are creative, and and Uncle Doug, we love everybody. We love y'all, but Randy's children are
Shout out Randy's children, right?
Randy's kids.
Ain't nothing like
No,
them.
I'm just kidding. But we are creative, and I believe that that's a mandate and a mantle that God has put on our family,
Mm-hmm.
because even when we watch our cousins, they are doing things, they're entrepreneurs, they're pushing and stuff. But I would definitely have to say that I don't know if I ever seen anyone do it before you. So I would have to, and I could be wrong, but I definitely believe that you were one of the pioneers that
I
God
hadn't even
placed in
thought of it
our
that way.
family. Yes, to be that trendsetter, even with my kids, even with Trey. I think Trey he was the next one to come with, as far as the music was concerned or whatever. So I definitely thank God for that, because I believe God used you to open the door,
I remember when
and
he
I do
started.
believe
Yeah.
that. Huh?
I remember when Trey started because I had the piano like at my place and he was messing around with it trying to learn it then. And now, like when I saw him play, I'm like, man, you way better than I am, bro. That's crazy. Like killing it, man. Yeah. You're right.
Yep. So I definitely thank God for that, because that shows creativity, and that shows, when you're yielded to God, yep, you can do whatever God has called you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do this one. So what sets this album apart from your previous work? Now, all your other stuff has been really, really good,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this one for me, I'll say this one for me, says, okay, I've done other things before, but Strado, this is who Strado is.
Yeah, I
The
think that's the most accurate way to kind of say it. With my other stuff, like especially when I was in Atlanta, I was kind of under other people, so
mhm,
they had a big say in what I was doing, you know,
mhm,
or like they a lot of stuff I was doing was not getting approved. They'd be like, "Oh, maybe you should do this," and I would like kind of make songs to kind of cater to what they wanted it to be. Like my original project, Community Service, that took like 3 years to make, but really the original version I made of it that 3 years before that was like what I wanted it to be, and it never got turned into that. It turned into like somebody else's album, and this one here seems like this is authentically me. And
Yeah.
what I love about it now is because I'm a grown man and like I'm not a child anymore, and I've gone through these things, and it's really shaped me into a better person. And I think you can hear it through the journey of the album. Like I say, it's rather vulgar at times. And I don't want the message to get lost in it. Some people hear curse words or whatever and it throws them off, but like really listen to what I'm saying, and I want people to catch the message in that. And I think the journey is what makes that my best album, and what sets it apart from the rest of them. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I definitely think that there is a message in it. Um, Especially like, your journey of what you've gone through, and so I would have to ask, like, what message do you hope the listeners would take away? Like, what message, what emotion, what takeaways would you hope that they would take away from this album, this particular album?
That nobody's perfect. Um, we all have our vices. They're all
Mhm,
different. We all have struggled through them. But just because you struggle with them don't mean you can't overcome them. Don't be too hard on yourself, you
mhm,
know. Find God, like seriously find God. Like it's that one sample in one of the songs, like, is your heart right with God? And like that's the
mhm,
turning point of the album for me. It's like you doing all this stuff, you think you having a good time, you think you partying, you think you got money, you think you got all these girls, but is it
mhm.
really worth it? Is your heart really right with God? Did you
Right.
lose yourself and was it worth it? It's like the message of the prodigal son. That's the way I
Right.
look at it.
Ooh,
I feel like I'm the prodigal son.
yes.
And we all have our journeys, and everybody's journey is different. But I think that's the best parable and analogy for this process in this album. Yeah.
Yes, I would have to agree with you on that, because that's one of the things that I got, was it was like a to me it was like a come back home like type, and so yes, I'm definitely glad that you brought out that one, is that it's like a message of the prodigal son, because we
Mm-hmm.
know prodigal son got up, run away, wanted what he wanted. And it's funny we talk about this again, because I think we talked about this last week. Like, the prodigal son got up, wanted what he wanted, and then he left, but then he came to his senses,
Yep.
and he knew that, hey, it's best to go where I know I'm good, but
Mm-hmm.
even in a sense of that, it's like coming to your senses and waking up to who you really are in God, you know what I'm saying, or who you are in life,
Yeah.
period,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes not just with your age group, but also, with mine. I ain't gonna say I'm old, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, to God be the glory. But even with us, and even with the generation of with our parents, letting others know that it's not too late, and that you can be who you are, you know what I'm saying, and then
Mm-hmm.
also, like, we're talking about waking up to who we really are. A lot of people don't know who they are authentically, because they have become what others want them to be.
To be.
And
Yep.
I think that's the sad thing. I know me, just, and I don't know if you have had that experience, but knowing who you really are, not allowing your situations to define you, or let anyone to define you, but knowing who you really are, and waking up to that, and actually just being that. And I think sometimes we find it difficult
We do.
being who we are, because it may not always fit the mold of what others think, or how they view or perceive us. I don't know if you've experienced that, but I know
Nah,
that I have.
definitely. I feel like I'm going through it now. It's just, you
Mhm.
got to stand up to who you really are. And who you're meant to be. It's hard. It's scary. It might be one of the scariest things to do in life, and it takes a lot of strength and faith. But that's what it's all about. Having that faith
Right.
and having that belief and standing up to be who you truly are meant to be and who God intends you to be. I'm a
Yeah.
strong believer in that. Strong
Yeah.
believer in that.
I definitely agree. At all costs.
Yeah, yeah. No matter the cost.
All costs. At all
Mhm.
costs. All right. So I know you talked about, starting out in the beginning, and people promised that they would. Let's talk about that a little bit as far as the industry for those that may be trying to get in the industry. Because I know I've seen you work with some really great phenomenals, phenomenons, if I'm saying the word right.
Yeah.
You were on a reality show.
Mhm.
At one time, and I do remember you, and we're not dropping names, but I do remember that you were working with this particular big name artist, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I remember, like, it was like waiting on it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I remember just hearing that conversation that you're gonna do this and that and whatever, and then it's like people backing out on you.
Yeah.
So how does this album represent your growth and evolution as an artist in the midst of that world?
It's best way for me to put it is just perseverance. Because with what all that happened and transpired in the past, it really took a huge toll on me mentally. And it took me years to realize it, you know. It took me years to realize that, man, maybe you depressed, you know. Maybe you are,
Mhm,
you know. And I had got a fresh start on life. I moved up here a couple months after all that kind of fell through. And, I kind of got up on my feet here and I started making more money than I probably had ever made in my life. So I was like, you know what, I'm good. I don't need all that. But in the midst of all that, I realized I wasn't happy, and
mhm,
I was making music here and there. And
mhm,
like as the years went on, I would listen to it, and I'm like, man, why are all these songs so sad? Like it's really sad. And I'm like, man, I was going through it. And it took a lot of courage and belief in myself to be like, you know what, I still got this. Let's try to give it another run.
mhm,
And I think it's like pulling the sword out of the stone. It's just like the most amazing thing that I've done to this day. And to be honest with you, since I put it out, I didn't know what people were gonna think. Like I said, I don't really care what people think, but
mhm.
the support and the outpour has been mind blowing. I
Oh,
didn't even
man.
know I had people that was waiting on me to put music out.
Ooh,
And it's just been amazing the love and support I've been getting. Like I had to take like two hours to myself on the day it came out, just put my phone down and just pray, dance, just whatever it was. I was going through it, man, and I think perseverance,
yeah,
consistency, getting over
yeah,
that hurdle, no matter what, you fall 1,000 times, get back up,
yeah.
pick yourself
And
up.
yeah, and I would have to say I would use the word preservation as well. Because you could have, in the midst of going through what you was going through, you masked it very well. Let me say that. I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah, I
that's
know.
you mastered very well.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if that's a good thing that we have or a bad thing. You know what I'm
you know.
saying? But at least the acknowledgement of sitting back and saying, you know what, this is a place that I was in, realizing that you was in there. But I would say even in that, I believe that there was a level of preservation that you were in, because you could have given up. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Even if you try to get back in it, get back out, get back, there was still a level of preservation, I believe, so that this person, this Strado, this day can come up. Let's talk just a little bit. We don't want to go deep into it, but I know I heard you mention it and you shared with me as well, through text message, like went through a season of depression. Now, we women, we talk about it, a lot. We can talk about it, but it's the different story when a man or a young, well, I don't want to, you still young, Zay, man. You're my little bro. you know
I
but
feel you.
don't want to definitely minimize the adult, but when a young man like yourself and your generation, and you dealing with depression, dealing with the
Mhm.
weights of life, and how you try to balance it. How did you find yourself in depression? And then what did you do to come out of it?
I
What did it look
realized
like?
I realized I was in depression when like it was a certain point, man, where like I was working a normal job and like you masking in front of everybody, but like on my days off, like, I wouldn't leave the house.
Mm,
I didn't want to talk to nobody. So people would text me, I just avoid answering it. And I did that for years, man, like years. And at a certain point, it just kind of clicked. I was like, this ain't normal. Like this ain't right. And then, like you said, when you go back and I listen to the music I was making and how I felt about myself, just my self-image, and I would always speak down on myself. I didn't have confidence, and that's when I realized I said something's wrong. And I gotta dig deep to what's the problem with it, And I would talk to certain people that I trusted about like what happened with me and said producer, and I would start crying, and like they would console me, like, it's all right. But I noticed over like a course of a couple of years, I would always cry about it, and I realized that crying is healthy. As men, we get this whole, you got to be strong, you can't cry. I don't believe none of that. I got tear ducts just like everybody else do. If them things want to cry, let them cry. I'm all about crying. I'm all about getting those emotions out. I feel like since I was a kid, and Daddy can attest to this because we done been through this more than one time. But I've always been a hothead. Like people don't know it, but like I'm a hothead because I hold in stuff, and when it pops, it pops. And I had a moment like that a couple years ago, and that's when I realized. Then I was like, you got to do a better job with your emotions, and I'm trying to do a better job of if something happens, it makes me feel some type of way, process it, feel it, go through it, let it go. Let it go.
Yes.
Let it go. Because if not, it'll harden you. It'll make you into somebody that you're not, And that's how you kind of like let the devil win, Like he whispering in your ear, just yeah, living that anger, living that anguish, like living that jealousy, that lower vibrational energy and emotion. He wants you to stay there. But I decided to climb my way up, and that's when I realized I need to, start exercising or try making music again, start talking to people about it. And that's how I kind of climbed my way out of it, But it's been a season of feel them emotions, go through it, understand it, keep it pushing. And that's what I like to live my life off of now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I totally stand with that. You got to feel your emotions, and whether you in the body of Christ or not, acknowledge Jesus or not. I still think when you are feeling that, you have to sit with your emotions. You got to sit with yourself, and like you said, you gotta process it. You gotta really get down to the root of it. So because we all about being the best version of ourselves, and life can have its tendency to get us regardless, disappointment, misunderstandings, whatever it is, but having to be able to sit with those things, and then even with, I can't imagine, I know it's things in my life where I may have been disappointed or whatever, but just having a producer not fall through with what they said they was going to do, me personally, I would say, even with things that I've had experienced, not to that degree, but just kind of dealing with it, kind of came from my self-esteem, kind of made me feel like, I wasn't really worth it or whatever. And so I think that's the thing, that even that emotion is not allowing, even if somebody don't want to connect or nobody wants to, do what they say, it doesn't change who you are. Sometimes people are just flat out jealous or intimidated because you could be that next on top. You know what I'm saying? And so, and just because, and I've learned sometimes people have the ability to pave the way, but they're not going to do it. Again, like I said, because either they don't feel or see your value or see the gift that you have, or again, there is the possibility that they're jealous. So I think that when you put your hands to the horns yourself and you keep pushing at all costs, you know what I'm saying? That's when you shut it down. You know what I'm saying? And you shut down whatever thing the enemy try to come and try to put in your mind, and you keep going. You know what I'm saying? I think the enemy wants you to stop and don't know how powerful you are for this generation, for this world. God has called you to do great things, Zay. And I know you have heard this over it, and I know, our family, I believe our family has a prophetic mantle on them. But I know you have heard that you're going to do great things. And I just don't believe that God allowed you to go through what you've gone through over the years and not show up on the scene right now to impact the world. You know what I'm saying? You are going to impact the world. And we always say this about younger generation, especially like my age group and older.
Mhm,
We say this about the generation beyond, down, underneath us. You guys can reach people that we can't. Y'all
mhm.
have a language that you can reach other people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling, however you choose to do that, whatever God is called and mandated, I appreciate you stand on that and you do it, and always let people know that Jesus Christ is your firm foundation. You know.
Amen.
So yes, I love it. I love it. So tell people where they can find the name of this album, and then where they can find and purchase and support.
Yeah, I'm all over all streaming services: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Strado, Strado. Again, the name of the album is I Don't Even Care Anymore. It's all together, just one big jumbled up word. I don't even care anymore. I'm uploading it on Bandcamp tonight, which is another website that if anybody wants to purchase it, they can purchase it. That's better than streaming because artists don't make any money off streaming. It's like 0.0003 cent per stream. So if
Wow.
anybody does want to support, I will be putting it on Bandcamp tonight, right after this, and I'll be posting a link on Facebook and Instagram, and that's where you can find me at. I'm on Instagram at Superstrado, SUPERSTRADO. Follow me on that. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I definitely have to say, thoroughly enjoyed listening to I Don't Even Care Anymore.
Thank you, sis.
Um, and I definitely think that's definitely a representation of who you are, and who God has called you, in a very, very powerful message. Like, I could hear the confidence. I mean, it's so many things I could really go on. I really could go on about
Thank you.
what I heard and what I felt, but if anything more, I felt great pride in knowing that this is my brother and he is back.
Thank you, sis. Thank you so
One
much.
thing I definitely can say, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the family feels the same way about you. Your daddy is a character. I just want to say that.
I
But
talked to her
I
yesterday. I talked to her yesterday. I love that
it's
man,
funny,
man.
but I definitely know our parents, they are very proud of you. Very proud of you. I'm sure, I don't know if Ken's watching, I don't know if he's at work or whatever, but from brother and sister, we love you and we are super duper 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 proud of
I love
you.
y'all too, man.
Yes,
I
listen,
love
so
y'all
keep
too.
going up, and keep pressing, keep moving forward. Don't let anything change you. You know what I'm saying? Continue to do and be your best you, because that's what it's all about. So I don't know how much I can say, but I know the world is watching this one. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you,
And so
sis.
I do hope and pray that this goes beyond your wildest imagination, beyond anything you could ever fathom. The Bible says that he can do exceeding, God can it do exceeding abundantly above all that we could ask or think, according to the power that works in us. And I know that power lives in you. And I know that God is going to cause this album to go somewhere way beyond. So I'm not going to say that we don't expect it. We expect even more. The
Yeah,
doors and the rooms that you're going to walk in, we may be a little bit of shock, but I'm telling you, we just know this is your time, always been, but definitely this is your season. So continue to shine, continue to move forward, continue to do what you do. Continue
thank you,
to
sis.
let them New Yorkers know a Southerner come here and we don't play.
I'm standing up here. You know what I'm saying? They better watch out. That's all I gotta say.
Listen, you better than me, because that little time I lived up there, and when I was on assignment, I said,
It ain't
this
that
is not
bad,
for me.
man. It ain't that bad.
I'm a tourist.
I get it. I get it. It ain't for everybody. I get it. It's
It's
crazy.
Say, listen, but you young, you can do it. But me
Yeah.
personally, if I had to go to the city, I don't. Give me the country. I'm good. Give me a semi-small city. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I'm a country gal and live
I get it.
functioning. It was. Ooh, my mind was overwhelmed. I lived there, but I couldn't
Overload.
wait
Yeah, I
to get
feel
back
you.
home.
I get you. I get you.
Couldn't wait to get back home. Well, again, thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity. I don't know if nobody else interviewed you yet.
No,
More
thank
gonna
you
come.
for allowing me. What you mean? I appreciate you. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. So for those that are looking, just put a note. Sandra Coleman was the first one to interview her brother, Strado. His album is called I Don't Even Care. Okay? All right. All right. Now, for the rest of y'all that's looking, y'all get and hit him up and y'all do interview him or whatnot. I definitely have some friends, and I'm going to send some information to them as it relates to you. So just be lookout for if it's okay to
That's
share
fine.
your information so that they can definitely reach out to you and let's get this album buzzing. Let's get it, out there so people can hear and support and purchase. Let's say that. I'm gonna say it through the mic. Purchase.
Help a young
Purchase.
brother out. Help a young brother out. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
purchase. He already told you putting on streaming, so it ain't like you really make a lot of money. But listen, even if you don't, even if you support, listen, you want to bless him, bless him. Reach out to him, ask him what's his Cash App, his Zelle, PayPal, whatever he has. Bless him. Let him know how much you love and support him. So I want to say thank you all to everyone that came on. Aunt Cookie was on, Uncle Doug was on. Lynn was on, some of your friends. I saw LaPrentice come through. I saw Vernon come through. Doris was on. Helen Brown, Lorene Queen, she was on. So for all the Michelle came on, Miss Jenny came on. It was a lot of people came on. Let me say that. But for the rest of you guys that I can't see, thank y'all for joining us on tonight for this random live interview / random conversations. And remember to support Xavier Padgett, also named as Strado, on his new album, I Don't Even Care Anymore. I downloaded on Apple Music. So again, he done already shared what platforms it is, but we'll definitely put the platforms in this group, in this Facebook live chat, so you guys can go back and watch it. And then y'all have the ability to be able to go and purchase it. All right. Thank you, little brother. I appreciate you and I love you so, so, so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. I love you too.
All right.